What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR 365. Welcome to a special bonus episode of the show. Yes, it is bonus time. You guys are now in the bonus zone. So, what is going on, guys? Well, first of all, it is Friday. It is Friday. It is January 25th. It is 11:01 a.m. on the West Coast. And yeah, what we're going to do today is we're going to have a special bonus episode that is going to start off right now. And then later we are going to have a regular, normal, everyday episode. We're going to have episode 78. But that is going to follow this episode right now, this special bonus episode. Episode 78 will probably start about 5 minutes later. Just a quick little 5-minute break because I've got to switch from this stream to the other stream, and it takes a minute there. Maybe run a quick little bathroom break and then be right back in the mix for episode 78. Okay, so let me turn this down a little bit more here. So basically, what is the idea here? So this actually came to me yesterday, and I was going to do this episode yesterday. I was going to do it last night. It was kind of a spur of the moment kind of a thing, like an experiment, actually, really. And I was going to do it last night, but I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? If I just all of a sudden do an episode out of the blue, nobody's going to know about it. There's only going to be a couple of people that show up in chat. And I figured, you know what, let me just wait until it's actually our normal time, which is 11 a.m. Pacific time. Do it then, and then I could just have a bonus episode. You know, we could just have 2 episodes, a double header, if you will. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. So I've got to explain the style of what we're doing here. What is the theory? What is the style? And so in order to explain this, I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through it. Okay, so let's go ahead. Hold on a second here. Let me switch over to the Webby browser. Let's go ahead and switch over here. This is the Webby browser. Okay, so what we do here at vrgamerankings.com at the website, what we do is we rank the top 100 HTC Vive games, the top 100 Oculus Rift games, the top 100 PlayStation VR games. But we also have something that we call the overall rankings. And the overall rankings is we take the list, the top 100 Vive, top 100 Rift, top 100 PSVR, and we put them all into a big basket, and then we create the overall rankings from that. And so recently we've updated the HTC Vive Hot 100, you know, the HTC Vive Top 100. This was updated back on January 12th. Okay, bounce over here. Here's the Oculus. This was updated on January 18th. And PlayStation VR, this was updated on January 20th. Okay, so all of these lists were updated very recently. And then what I'm supposed to do is after all of these lists are updated, then I do the overall rankings. Now, how do I determine the overall rankings? Well, the way it works is the VR game ranking editors, all 7 of us, okay, I'll explain that in a minute. So the VR game ranking editors, we all get together and we decide what the overall rankings are going to be. But here's how we do it. We have to take games off of these 3 lists in order. We have to take them in order. And so, for example, let me break this down. Okay, so the number 1 HTC Vive game right now, Skyrim VR. Skyrim VR, baby. It is the number 1 HTC Vive game. So, the VR game ranking editors, we could choose Skyrim VR as the number 1 overall game. But wait a minute. We also have the opportunity to choose Beat Saber. Beat Saber is the number 1 Oculus Rift game. We could choose Beat Saber as our number 1 game. hold on. We could also choose Astrobot. Astrobot can be our number one game. So basically, any one of these three games can be our number one game, but we've got to take whatever's at the top of the list, okay? And so that's kind of how we do it. And so we just start off slowly but surely, and we say, well, which game are we going to take? Is it going to be Astrobot? Is it going to be Skyrim? Is it going to be Beat Saber? And then how everything filters out from that, it keeps on going from there. And so I normally will do this on my own time, in my own situation. Now, ideally, it would be, yeah, but wait, there's more. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Get your hot dogs and get your sodas. There's more. But see, the idea is that the VR game ranking editors, we get together in our beautiful, lush offices overlooking the San Francisco Bay. We all get together. We've got a beautiful glass room with a beautiful boardroom table, and we all get together there. It's me, it's Jason Rubin, you know, all the heads of state. Zuck's there, you know, Carmack is there, Michael Abrash, everybody's there. We all have a cup of coffee, and we get together and we decide how we're going to break this thing down, okay? But no, seriously, it is the VR Game Rankings editors, which right now is me. Yay! I am the only VR Game Ranking editor right now. So it's basically me, okay? But it's not a completely arbitrary list because I have to go off the rankings that we have, but I can choose what list to go to, but I got to go to the list in order, okay? So that is how the whole thing is worked. Okay, so now let's switch over to a brand new scene, and this is completely experimental, so hopefully this is not a complete and utter disaster. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over here to our brand new scene, and here it is, guys. This is our brand new scene, and I need to make a change real quick. Hold on a second here. I gotta change out my Vive game if I can find it here. Let's see. Where is the Vive? Rift game, Vive game. Wait. Oh, okay. I know. I got it. Okay. So let me go ahead and get the right trailer in here. And here we go. Okay, so basically here's what we've got, folks. We've got 3 possibilities for the number one game currently available right now. We could go with Oculus. It is Beat Saber. We could go with Skyrim VR for the HTC Vive, and we can go with Astrobot. These are the 3 contenders, and so this is what I have to do. I have to make a decision here. I have to decide. And before I give you guys my answer, I got to tell you, first of all, any one of these 3 babies could be the number one banger. I mean, let's face it, Astrobot could be the best VR game currently available. Would anybody really argue that? Beat Saber could be the best VR game available. Would anybody argue that? Skyrim VR, that could be the best VR game available. Would anybody argue that? No. All of these are worthy of our love and admiration. But I gotta pick one. I've got to pick one. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead. I have my little, yeah, okay, I've got, yeah, this is our first scenario. And so here is the winner, folks. The number one game, Skyrim VR. Yes, Skyrim VR wins it. And now, why do I choose Skyrim VR here? So one of the other things I need to explain is I have to think about this from 2 different angles. Number one, I have to think about this from just pure, like me as a gamer, what do I think is the bomb? You know, what do I think is the best game? Just me, myself, and I. What do I think is the best game? But I also have to think about it from another angle. I've got to think about it from the greater VR community. So I got to step outside of myself and think about the greater VR community. But I've decided on this one, Skyrim VR is number one. Why is it number one? First of all, it is available on all 3 platforms. It is absolutely a fantabulous game There is no question about it. But really, what pushes it over the edge is the incredible amount of mods that are available to Vive and Rift players, Windows mixed reality players as well. You can still play this on PlayStation VR, and it is still outstanding on PlayStation VR. But all of the goddamn mods, guys, the mods are ridiculous. I know people that are playing Skyrim VR with hundreds of mods activated at the same time. Literally hundreds of them. And, you know, so you can just go to town with Skyrim VR. Now, I will admit personally, I've tried to stay away from Skyrim VR because I am scared. I'm scared to death of the game because I know this is my type of thing. Boots on the ground, baby. A forest, snow coming down. You're climbing up a mountain. As you're going up the mountain, it's like freaking springtime. And you get higher up the mountain and the freaking snow starts coming down. It is incredible. I could get lost in this world and never want to return. I have buddies. My boy, Arrowin X, he pretty much just plays Skyrim full time with hundreds of mods running simultaneously, and people just get lost in this game and they never come back. You never hear from them. Months later, you're like, damn, whatever happened to that guy? He just freaking disappeared into the mist, and it's because of Skyrim VR. Okay, so Skyrim VR is number one. All right, well, now what do we do? Okay, so I need to get rid of Skyrim VR off of the list, right? So I need to replace Skyrim VR with the Vive game, the next Vive game on the list. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to replace Skyrim VR with the next Vive game. And oh my God, minds are blown. And now we've got 2 Beat Sabers and we've got Astrobot. So yeah, this is the scenario we're in. Skyrim is gone. Skyrim has already been taken care of. That is the number one game. Now we have 2 Beat Sabers and we've got Astrobot. Okay, Beat Saber was the second ranked game on the HTC Vive list. It is number 1 on Oculus, and Astrobot is still chilling over there for PlayStation VR. Okay, where do I go from here? This is not very hard. It's not very hard because guess what? I'm going to give you guys a little secret. A little secret. Do you know what the number 2 PlayStation VR game is after Astrobot? Yep, Beat Saber, baby. So guess who takes number 2? Beat Saber is the number 2 VR game because it's just a clean sweep. Okay, Astrobot, yeah, Astrobot's kind of getting screwed here a little bit. You know, it's on this list, and we keep overlooking it. But how can I not? I mean, I've got 2 Astrobots staring. I mean, I've got 2 Beat Sabers right in front of me, and I know the second PSVR game is Beat Saber as well. And so even though I would personally take Astrobot over Beat Saber if this was just for me. But I gotta think about the greater VR community as well. I gotta put myself in the mind space of the Oculus Rift community, the HTC Vive community, the PlayStation VR community, the Windows mixed reality community, and the overall VR gaming community. And with all of that, and then also my personal feelings as well, Beat Saber is an incredible, awesome game. Nothing wrong with Beat Saber at all. So Beat Saber goes into the number 2 spot. Okay, so now we need to find a new Oculus game, right? Beat Saber is gone. Skyrim VR, I believe, was number 2 on Oculus. That is gone as well. So now we need to go to the third Oculus game. So let me go ahead and switch this. Let me go ahead and grab our new Rift game. The third Oculus game. And let's grab it right here. And the third Oculus game is Onward. And so Onward is now in the mix. It is now in the mix. Now we need to go to the Vive. The number 1 Vive game, Skyrim VR. Number 2 Vive game is Beat Saber. So now we got to go to the third Vive game. So let me go ahead and grab the third Vive game. This is how the sausage is made, folks. This is how the sausage is made. It's not as scary as you thought it was. Okay, and I grab the third Vive game, and that is Orbis VR. Okay, so now I've got an interesting situation here. I've got Onward for the Oculus Rift. I've got Orbis VR. What the F? What the F is going on here? And I've got Astrobot, baby boy Astrobot. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what's in my headspace right now. I know that Onward is a great, incredible game. I know that. Onward is fantastic. People love it. People swear by it. Now, Orbis VR, listen to this music. Listen to this glorious music. Listen to that, guys. How could this not be our number 3 VR game of the year? Listen to this incredible music. It is awesome. It is spectacular. That is Orbis VR. No, you know what? To be serious, though, Orbis VR, overrated. Overrated. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Orbis VR is overrated, and I'll tell you why it's overrated. It's overrated because it's an MMO game. It's an MMO game, and these MMO people are fanatical, man. They are rabid. They are fanatical. And so here's what they'll do. They will upvote Orbis VR wherever it goes, and they've popped it all the way to 3rd on our Vive list. Orbis VR, the 3rd ranked Vive game. I think it's a bit overrated. I'm not saying Orbis VR is bad by any stretch of the imagination. And then, of course, Astrobot. And who the hell am I kidding? Of course, Astrobot takes it. So yeah, Astrobot is in 3rd. So that is kind of how things are shaking out right now at this point in time. So real quick here, let's go ahead and let's bounce back over to our standard scene. Okay, let's go ahead and bounce back over here to our standard scene, and let's just kind of update where are we at right now on this top 10 ranking. And here we are. These are the overall power rankings, Vive, Rift, and PlayStation VR. And so, number 1, Skyrim VR. It is available on major VR platforms. Number 2, Beat Saber. It is available on all the major VR platforms. And number 3, Astrobot Rescue Mission. It is an exclusive to PlayStation VR. So that is where we are at right now. These are the top 3 games. And yeah, see, normally when you go to somebody's top 10 list, they start at 10 and they work backwards. But see, I'm bringing you guys inside the studio, you know, inside the boardroom with the beautiful glass walls overlooking the San Francisco Bay. Zuck is right over there. Zuck is literally right over there. Michael Abrash is right over there. Carmack is going to get some water right now. And we're breaking this thing down, guys. And this is how the sausage is made. So that's where we are right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to where we were before. And this is where we are before. So I need to bring Orbis back in. Orbis has to get back into the mix because Orbis is still there, guys. Orbis is alive and well. So Orbis is still there, but we've got a problem, folks. Astrobot is gonzo. Astrobot is gonzo. So where do we go for our next PlayStation VR game? Well, number 2 was Beat Saber. Number 2 was Beat Saber on PlayStation, or was it Skyrim? But basically, bottom line is we've got to go to the 4th PlayStation VR game because Skyrim is gone. Beat Saber is gone. Astrobot is gone. So now we got to go to the 4th PlayStation VR game. So let me go ahead and grab the 4th PlayStation VR game and get it into its spot and get it situated so they're all nice and comfortable. Yeah, Borderlands 2 VR, baby. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. This is my decision, ladies and gentlebots. But before we get into that decision, let me take a quick look over here at chat. I don't want to completely ignore chat here. Let's see what people are talking about in chat. VR Spry Guy says, Anthony will not pass up Astrobot again. And how right were you? I couldn't pass up Astrobot again. I would be crazy. I would be crazy to do that. Hussein X, Orbis music is great. But I'm a bit of a graphics whore too. I need both. You know what? Honestly, the Orbis, that looks beautiful to me. Like that grass and those trees and the blue sky and the white puffy clouds. I think it looks pretty darn beautiful. We've got a lot of contractors talk. Here's the problem with contractors, guys. I gotta stick with the list that I already have. I have to stick with the list, and I have to pick one of these games. Like, I don't like it's I've got to go with either Onward, Orbis, or Borderlands VR. That is the decision that I am in right now at this point in time. But I did want to check in with you guys on chat. Okay, so where do I go here with number 4? Well, I'm going to tell you my number 4 game, Onward. Onward wins it. It is number 4. Now, I got to explain this a little bit. Okay, personally, if I had the opportunity, like let's say I'm going on a weekend vacation somewhere and I can bring one of these games with me, am I bringing Onward with me? No, I'm not. I'm probably bringing Borderlands VR with me, if I'm being completely honest with you. But again, remember, I have to consider 2 aspects of this thing. I got to think about myself, but I also have to think about the greater VR community. And Borderlands 2 VR, as good of a game as it may be, I still feel like it has some issues. It has some, it's a great game. It is a really good game. It's a very good game. It's one of the better PlayStation VR games, to be sure. I kind of believe it is a little bit overrated on the PlayStation VR list, but it is a great PlayStation VR game. And Orbis is solid, but I gotta go Onward. Onward has been a proven commodity in our industry. We've got tons of Oculus Rift people that play Onward every single day. We've got tons of HTC Vive people that play Onward every single day. And we've got tons of Windows Mixed Reality people that play Onward every single day. So Onward takes it. That is the 4th game on our list. Onward rises above. Okay, now here's the deal, y'all. We have an opening. The Oculus Rift game has been taken. Onward is gone. So we need to bring somebody new in. A new contender needs to come into the game. So let me go over here to our Rift game and let me grab our new contender. Let's bring a new contender. Behind window number 1. What is behind window number 1, you might ask? Fallout 4 VR, baby. Fallout 4 VR. Okay, so yeah, now we are in a situation here. We are on our 5th scenario, folks. This is the 5th scenario. We've got Fallout 4 VR, which is the 4th ranked Oculus Rift game. We've got Orbis VR, the 3rd ranked HTC Vive game, and we have Borderlands 2 VR, the 4th ranked PlayStation VR game. Okay, now, is this a hard choice for me? Am I going to have to deliberate a long time to figure this thing out? Nope, not at all. Not at all. Because here's the deal, guys. You know what? I got to consider my own private feelings. I also have to consider the greater VR community in general. But this is one where I can achieve both of these aims, okay? If I was making my own private list of the best VR games on planet Earth, for me, Anthony, Norsha, rhymes with Porsche, kind of. If I was going to do that, Fallout 4 VR would be my numero uno. Even though I never really play it because I'm scared to death of it. Again, just like Skyrim, I can't afford to do it. I've got to play a ton of different games. I've got to try a lot of different things, and I can't afford to be married to Fallout 4 VR. But Fallout 4 VR is our number 5 game. I mean, it is not a shocker by any stretch of the imagination. I think this is fair, I think this is solid, and I think this is beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back over here real quick to our standard scene here, and let's just do a quick little recap because we've gone through the top 5. We have now made our way through the top 5, and let's see how it's shaken out. Okay, number 1, Skyrim VR, available on all major platforms. Number 2, Beat Saber, also available on all major platforms. Number 3, Astrobot Rescue Mission. It is exclusive to PlayStation VR. Number 4 is Onward, exclusive to PC VR. No love for you PlayStation VR guys out there. You guys are boned. Number 5, Fallout 4 VR, also exclusive to PC VR. No PSVR support at this point in time. All right, so that is our top 5. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with that in terms of our top 5. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get back to our, let's get back over here. And so I need to get, let's see, Orbis, right? Orbis should be back in the Vive spot. So let's go ahead and put Orbis back where it needs to go. Hold on one sec. Let's grab Orbis and pop it in. Okay, so Orbis is in the mix. Now, Fallout 4 VR, though, you gotta go. You gotta go. That was the 4th Oculus Rift game. So now we need to bring in the 5th Oculus Rift game. So let me go ahead and grab the 5th Oculus Rift game. And the 5th Oculus Rift game, super hot. Super hot is the 5th Oculus Rift game. Okay, so now this is our 6th scenario. I've got super hot, I've got Orbis, and I've got Borderlands 2 VR. And I gotta tell you guys, right here, right now, I can go in almost any direction. I really could. I could go with more of the community side of myself, and I could say, you know what? Orbis VR, man. It's the 3rd ranked Vive game. The community has spoken. It should be Orbis VR, right? Or I could say, well, you know, it's super hot. Such a solid game. Like, what can you really complain about super hot? You know, it's very hard to complain about super hot. Or I could go Borderlands VR. Borderlands VR, an exciting new banger of a banger. You know, where do I go here? This is a difficult question. This is really difficult. King Hell says Orbis isn't going anywhere. Yeah, you know, so here's my choice right here, guys. The choice is super hot. Yeah, super hot is the choice. And, you know, super hot is available on all the platforms. It is an incredible game. It is an outstanding game. It is a testament to the VR gaming scenario. I mean, super hot shows you what VR is all about. This is one of these games you could put a brand new person that has never played VR before into super hot. It's a magical kind of a game. I know it's pretty short, but it kind of gives you an idea of what VR does better than anything else. It's a completely different experience in VR. It just works out so incredibly well in VR. I'm going to go ahead and give it to super hot here. Now, you might be saying, dude, why do you keep dissing Borderlands? Like, what do you have against Borderlands 2 VR? And I'll tell you what, you know, Borderlands 2 VR is solid, but there is a jank factor. I do believe there is a little bit of a jank factor with Borderlands 2 VR. And there's no jank factor with super hot, in my opinion. There's no jank factor. I've got to give it to super hot. So super hot is our number 6 game. That is how the sausage is made. Okay, so now our fifth Rift game has left the building. Super hot has left. We need to bring in our 6th Rift game. Borderlands is still there. And Orbis VR is still there. This kind of reminds me of, you know what this reminds me of, guys? Is like, you ever watch the NFL draft? They have all those quarterbacks there. You know, they have the quarterbacks there, the defensive linemen, the offensive linemen, a couple of running backs, and all these guys are getting selected, right? And there's always one quarterback that was supposed to be like a really early pick, and he just keeps waiting and waiting and waiting. And he's sitting at the table. He's got his beautiful blonde girlfriend right there. Mom and dad is there. He's seeing all of his offensive linemen get selected. He sees his running back get selected, his wide receiver, and he's sitting there and he's like, man, when is somebody going to draft me? That was Aaron Rodgers. Straight up, Green Bay fans, Aaron Rodgers, way back in the day, was waiting around forever to be drafted. And that's kind of what Orbis VR is feeling right now. It is feeling like it's been shat upon. Borderlands VR is still waiting. When is Borderlands VR's name going to get called? And we have a brand new competitor that has entered the building. It is Lone Echo. Lone Echo is in the building. Okay, before I get to my choice here, let's check a little bit over here. Jim Hall says one is not like the others. Let's see. Crunchy says, my kids like super hot. Cyan VR says, have you even played Subnautica, or did you snub because there isn't motion controller support? Okay, so Cyan VR is asking a very interesting question. Where the hell is Subnautica? Where is Subnautica? Well, here's the deal, Scion VR. We have a top 100 Oculus Rift chart, we have a top 100 HTC Vive chart, and we have a top 100 PlayStation VR chart. Now, these charts are determined by your submissions, by the submissions of actual VR gamers. And so I can't just randomly choose whatever game I want. I have to follow the list. I have to go in order. Subnautica is not ranked in the top 10, I don't think, on any of these lists. Now, you may feel that that is grand larceny, that that is an abomination before everything that we know and love. How could Subnautica not be in the top 10? That is blasphemy, right? Okay, well, my answer to that is submit. Submit your own rankings, put Subnautica really high, and then maybe Subnautica will be in the mix. I'm going off what the rankings are. I can take a top game from whatever rankings that is still alive. And so right now on the Vive, 2 games have left. Number 3 is Orbis. It is sitting there and it is hoping for some love. Okay, on the PlayStation VR rankings, the top 3 are gone. Number 4 is Borderlands. It's sitting there and it's hoping that it can get a little bit of love. And then on the Oculus Rift ranking, 5 games are gone, and it is now down to the 6th Oculus Rift game. That happens to be Lone Echo. So that's how this game is played. So these are my these are my choices here. And what is the pick going to be? And Sloth Monkey has nailed it like none other. It is absolutely Lone Echo, baby. And this is one where, again, I get to appeal to my own internal personal wish, but I also think of the greater VR community in general. And I got to give it to Lone Echo, guys, because this is not the best game of 2018 or the best game of the last 6 months. These are the best VR games, period. And Lone Echo is still a stunner of a stunner. If you guys want to be inside a science fiction movie, fire up Lone Echo. It's the closest we can get. This is the same little rant I go into every single time I play. Every single time I start talking about Lone Echo, I go into the same old tired rant. And here's how it goes, guys. I have a dream. I had a dream. And my dream is to one day be inside a frickin' movie. I want to be inside a movie. I want to be the star of the movie. And I want there to be other actors in the movie that I talk to and interact with. And I want to have some Action Jackson. And I want to run around in this movie and live in an incredible, awesome movie. And this is a sci-fi movie, folks. This is Solaris. This is, I don't know, whatever space movie you want it to be. This is a space sci-fi movie, and you are in this movie, and it's the closest you're ever going to get to being in a sci-fi movie right here, right now, in this modern time. It's January 25th. It is the year 2019, and I don't think you could get closer to being in a science fiction movie right here, right now, than Lone Echo. Is Lone Echo the perfect game? No, it's not. In fact, there are certain times I don't even want to play Lone Echo because, like, the one downside about Lone Echo, here's the downside about Lone Echo. If you ain't got like an hour, like you can't play Lone Echo for 10 minutes. You can't play it for 15 minutes, 25 minutes. You need at least a 45-minute burst of time to play Lone Echo. It is not a quick hit game. It is not in depth. You know, it does not provide an immediate burst of entertainment. You've got to spend a little bit of quality time in Lone Echo. You also have to kind of be in the mood for Lone Echo. But again, if you want to be in a movie, there's nothing closer. So Lone Echo takes it. It is our numero 7. All right, so Borderlands 2 VR is still chilling. It is still chilling. Orbis VR is pissed as F. Orbis VR is pissed. The parents have left. The girlfriend has left. The offensive lineman has already been selected. Orbis VR just is like this. They're just like this. Like, damn, what is going on here? Why did my agent tell me to come to the NFL draft today? This is a bad idea. That's Orbis VR. Okay, so we need a new Rift game, though. We need a new Rift game, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and grab the next Rift game, and we're already up to the number 7 Rift game. We've gone through quite a few Rift games. We are up to numero 7. The Rift list has really been pilfered compared to all the other lists. Okay, so here we go. There is the new Rift game, folks. It is Rec Room. Rec Room is now in the building. So, now, this is a little bit of a more difficult decision here. We've got Rec Room, and Rec Room is a beautiful game. Everybody loves it. It's available on all the major platforms. The kiddies love Rec Room. You gotta love to jump into Rec Room and hear a bunch of 12-year-olds running around. They're dripping some snot out of their nose. They're eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No W, sandwich. And they're playing Rec Room, and you gotta love it. And then we've got Orbis VR has been disrespected like none other. And we've got Borderlands 2 VR. That's a prime timer. What is it doing still here? Okay, so this is a conundrum. Where do I go? Where do I go? I need to take a sip of water before I decide this one. And MainFan says, this is a flawed system. No, this is beautiful. This is perfect. Here's the truth of the matter, guys. The truth of the matter, all of this is a flawed system. I mean, I'm acting like I'm freaking the emperor, like I'm King Tut. I am making the decisions. Me and all the VR game ranking editors. Don't you see all of them over here? Hey, how's it going? Yeah. So, Rec Room? You sure? You sure you're putting your vote in for Rec Room? All right, Zuck. If that's what you want, Zuck. You know, yeah, okay. It's not a perfect system. It's not a perfect system, ladies and gentlemen. But it's pretty darn close. It is pretty darn close. Okay, so what am I going to go with right here? Orbis VR, Rec Room, or Borderlands 2 VR? And guess who the winner is, baby? It is Borderlands! Yes, Borderlands can finally walk down the podium, take the picture with the commissioner. Borderlands has been selected. Borderlands is our number 8 game. It is a beautiful game. It is a number 8 game, and it is wonderful. Okay, so let's go back over here to our main scene. Let's do a quick little recap. Why don't we? And there's Orbis VR. Don't you feel bad for Orbis? I certainly do. I feel very bad for Orbis, but, you know, I can't worry about Orbis right now. I can't worry about hurting its feelings. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick little recap here. Overall power rankings. Vive, Rift, and PlayStation VR, and Windows Mixed Reality. I'm sorry we didn't have enough room to put that on there. Okay, number 1, Skyrim VR. Major VR platforms. Number 2, Beat Saber. Also major VR platforms. Number 3, Astrobot Rescue Mission. This is a PlayStation VR exclusive. Number 4, Onward PC VR. Number 5, Fallout 4 PC VR. Number 7, Lone Echo, a movie experience only available on the Oculus Rift. And number 8, Borderlands 2 VR, only available on PlayStation VR. All right, so that's where we are with the top 8. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty hyped. We've only got 2 more picks to go, and this bonus episode will come to an end. Mercifully enough, it will come to an end. But we're not done, folks. We are not done. Orbis VR wants to hear its name called. And by golly, we've got to find out what happens to Orbis VR. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back over here. Now, I need to put my Vive game back in the mix. What is it? What's the Vive game? Oh, yeah, Orbis VR. Okay, so let's get Orbis VR back in its proper location. There it goes. It is nice and snuggy back in its middle spot. You know, the nice thing about being right there is we get to hear this Orbis VR music all day long. You know, that's the good news of Orbis VR, because basically we're hearing the audio from whatever the Vive trailer is, and it's all Orbis all the time. Okay, now, Borderlands 2 VR is gonzo. It has been selected, so we need a new contender, folks. So that was the 4th PlayStation VR game, so now we need to bring in number 5. Gee whiz, gee willikers. I wonder what the number 5 PlayStation VR game is. Gee, I wonder what it could possibly be. Who could possibly say? Oh my goodness, Wipeout VR. Okay, so Wipeout VR has entered the building, ladies and gentlebots. Yeah, this is what a prep show looks like. No, Kevgret, this is my new experiment. This is incredible. This is a new bonus show. This is the best thing that has ever happened to VR Game Rankings. You are seeing live and direct how the sausage is made, how we determine our overall power rankings, and we're gonna go all the way to 200. Yeah, it's gonna be an all-day 24-hour stream. Not exactly. Okay, so here we go. The options are, we've got Rec Room representing the Oculi Rift. We got Orbis VR representing the HTC Vive, and now we have Wipeout VR, which is representing PlayStation VR. Gee, let me think really hard. What is it gonna be? God damn, what could it possibly be? Wipeout VR. Yeah, buddy. I mean, come on. Really? Wipeout VR could be number one, goddammit, as far as I'm concerned. Wipeout VR wins this in a boat race. It is not even close. Wipeout VR is our number 9 game. It is a beautiful thing. It is a wonderful thing. Okay, Wipeout VR takes number 9. And, you know, I'm a huge fan of Wipeout VR. Now, a part of me says, hey, man, shouldn't you go with the community, brah? Go with the community. Grab Rec Room, brah. But I'm like, dude, Wipeout? Really? Wipeout VR? Hell no. It's got to be Wipeout VR. So that is our number 9 choice. All right. So Wipeout VR is gonzo. So we need to bring another PlayStation VR game into the mix. Who is the next PlayStation VR game? Let me go ahead and grab it, and let's see. Will this cause a lot of shockers? Will this change everything? So let's go ahead and grab the next PlayStation VR game, and that is Resident Evil 7. So here we are. This is the 10th scenario. We are trying to find the 10th best VR game currently available, and we've got a difficult decision in front of us. We have got the 7th Oculus Rift game, Rec Room. We have got the third HTC Vive game, Orbis VR. It has been waiting all this time. It has been chilling all of this time. We've got Resident Evil 7. Horror personified. The most incredible horror game you could possibly ever imagine. A main fan special. Main fan loves Resident Evil 7. Steve Bishop of VR Roundtable fame loves Resident Evil 7. It's gotta be Resident Evil 7, right? Wrong. It's not Resident Evil 7, folks. This is where the community wins. It is Rec Room. Yes, Rec Room takes it. This is where I step outside of myself. And I say, you know what? Rec Room it is, baby. Because Rec Room is a community kind of thing. You know, Rec Room is available across all 3 platforms and Windows Mixed Reality as well. Rec Room is the winner. It is our number 10 game. So Rec Room has taken it. A lot of people are disappointed in that. They're like, God damn it, it should have been Resident Evil 7. Some people are crying about Orbis VR just continue to get disrespected. This is not fair. This is not right. Okay, let's go back over here to our standard scene. Here's our standard scene, and let's go ahead and do a quick... There's Orbis VR. All this time, it's been there for us. It has been so patient, and yet its name was never called. That is terrible. Its name was never called. Okay, so let's get into our final. This is our top 10, guys. This is what it is. The top 10 overall power rankings. And this has not been updated yet on VRGameRankings.com. I've got to do this for 200 games. I've got to do this for 200 games. And this is actually the way that I do it. I will continue to do this all the way through till we go through and have 200 games. And it's our overall top 200. Yeah, I don't think Orbis is going to fall all the way to 200. But anyway, here is our top 10. Skyrim VR, number 1. Beat Saber, number 2. Astrobot, number 3. Onward, number 4. Fallout 4 is number 5. Superhot, number 6. Lone Echo, number 7. Borderlands 2 VR is number 8. Wipeout VR is 9. And Rec Room is 10th. So that is our top 10. That's how it works. This is how we make the sausage. And, you know, we can go back over here. Yeah, Goat Mountain did not make it. We can go back here. And so, like, for example, like if I was continuing, we're not going to continue this, but if I was continuing, okay, so first of all, I got to get our Vive game back to where it should be. So let me get Orbis back in its spot. So let's get Orbis back in its little cave. Okay, so Orbis is back there. And RE7 is in its nice little spot there, but we have to switch out Rec Room. So we need another Oculus Rift game. And so I would have to go see, well, what is the 8th Oculus Rift game, guys? So we can go over to our here's our Webby browser. Okay, and so now we want to go to the Oculus Rift. Where's our Oculus Rift rankings? And number 8, Robo Recall, baby. That would be the next game. So Robo Recall would be the next game that would be in the mix. So Robo Recall goes in there. So then we would remove Rec Room. Rift game. Let me get this out of here. And we would go with Robo Recall. Let's see if I have a Robo Recall trailer. I didn't have it set up because I wasn't planning on giving you guys a bonus in how the sausage is made. Here's a bonus, special bonus on how sausage is made. Yeah, so it just continues. It continues forever. Now my considerations are: I've got Rec Room. I've got Robo Recall. I've got Orbis VR. I've got Resident Evil 7. This is a tough one. Not Orbis. I can tell you it ain't Orbis. But I can tell you that Robo Recall and Resident Evil 7, god damn, that is a battle right there, guys. That is a battle. I'm not sure where to go with this. But I'm not going to tell you what number 11 is. I haven't even decided what number 11 is. But this is what I have to do. I have to think about this. I have to go over and consult with Zuck. I've got to talk to Abrash. I got to talk to Jason Rubin. I got to talk to Carmack. I gotta call Palmer Lucky, get his suggestions. I gotta talk to maybe Jeff Kanata of DLC. I've got to consult with a lot of people out there. Maybe David Jaganoff from Upload VR, maybe Jason Feltham. I gotta call somebody. I gotta call Ben Lang. Where would Ben Lang go right now? Would he go Robo Recall? Would he go Orbis? Would he go PlayStation VR? I've got to talk to somebody out there. What about Alvin Wang Graylin? Let me get Alvin Wang Graylin on the hotline. Oh, Job! Let me open the door. I'll ask Job. Or I can ask my contractor. He's redoing my bathroom right now. Contractor, Robo Recall, RE7. Orbis? Nah, you don't want Orbis. You gotta be kidding me. Not Orbis. Okay, so let's go ahead and bounce back over here to our standard scene, guys. And so, yeah, that is our special bonus episode of the show. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it a complete and utter travesty? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I had a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun doing this. But it might have been like a horrible show for somebody to watch. I don't know. But I had a lot of fun doing this. And so this is what happened. Last night, I was working on the overall power rankings myself. Yeah, so I can accept bribes. I was working on the overall power rankings myself. And I thought, a little light bulb went off above my head. And I said, what if I just did this live in a live stream and kind of brought people into the process of how I try to figure out the overall power rankings? I don't make it up. I have to go off of the lists. And so when a game has been selected, it gets crossed off and the game is no longer available. And then other games fall down. And that's the way it works. And I go all the way down. And that's how we determine our overall power rankings. And I've got to do this for 200 games, brah. 200 games. Sometimes it's a lot easier than other times. Like sometimes there's You know, sometimes it's like the Fallout 4, you know, where it's like bam, or like Wipeout VR, bam. Like it didn't take me a lot of time to think about which game gets the pick there. But sometimes it's a real head scratcher. Like I'm already, like my head is scratching. It is itching right now. Robo Recall, Resident Evil 7. I'm not sure. I got to think about it. And I might have to consult my community member version of myself and be more of a community guy. Well, what does the community think, you know? But that's how we do it. That's how we figured it out. That's how we figure it out. All right, guys. Well, that's going to go ahead and do it for this special bonus episode of VR 365 Top 10 VR Games that are currently available right now, right in the here and now. If it's a HTC Vive game, an Oculus Rift game, a PlayStation VR game, or a Windows mixed reality game, it could be considered for this list. And that's how we do it. But you know what? This particular episode is about to conclude, and you guys are going to have to bounce over to the new stream, okay? There's going to be a separate stream for episode 78. Techno Glitch says your picks are bad. Okay, here's what I want you to do, Techno Glitch. Did you understand how the sausage is made? Because I don't think you did. Here's what you got to do. Look at the top 100 HTC Vive games, the top 100 Oculus Rift games, the top 100 PlayStation VR games on VRGameRankings.com, and know that you can only take, you can go to whatever list you want to go to, but you gotta go in order. And once a game has been selected, it gets crossed off. For example, like when Skyrim was selected, it gets crossed off the Oculus list. Skyrim gets crossed off the PlayStation VR list. You gotta go in order. So if there's 3 games to choose from, it's one of the 3. I'm not making this up as I go along. This is how it works, bro. So if you think you can come up with a better idea, start up your own website, VR Game Rankings Part 2, whatever you want to call it, Techno Glitch. Go right ahead. I love you. All right, that's going to do it for this particular episode of VR 365. I'm going to take a little bit of a water break, maybe a quick banana break. And, you know, we've got 8 minutes until noon, so we'll probably start right about noon. So I will see you guys on the new stream for episode 78. Later.